Welcome back, guys, to Weebs Closet. My name is Nekko.
I am Jake.
And today we're watching The World of Remnant of RWBY. It should be 4 different episodes, but since we messed up... Oh, I messed up. I'll take responsibility about this one.
I am just a victim here watching these,
Yeah.
not knowing where
Like, I could have sworn that we watched the Vytal Festival, hence why I just skipped it. I'm like, we got this. And then it so happens that we skipped Vytal Festival in the last 4, and they're always come in pairs of 4.
That's right. Because I was looking at Aura, and I was like, no, we covered Aura in the first one. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we went straight to 6 on the second one? Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so we went, exactly. We went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then immediately jump into Huntsman, Cross Continental, and the 4 Maidens.
That's right.
And we entirely skipped the Vytal Festival.
Okay.
So we'll start with Vytal Festival, and then we have Vale, Mistral, Atlas, and Vacuo, which is...
Okay, cool.
So it's going to be interesting because it gives us some background on the people. On the people and the places.
On the people.
So, guys, check our Twitch, check our Twitter. We post from time to time as well. Check our Patreon. We got uncuts for different shows over there, as well as 1 week early access over there for this type of show. So by the time that you're watching this, probably we're already in volume 5, or probably doing the character shorts. So one of them too. So by all means, check it out. Also, check. We also got time exclusives. For shows like Jujutsu Kaisen,
Invincible in there. We're starting Shield Hero today. Well, we're watching Shield Hero today. And we're going to get Hans in here from Mob Psycho Season 1. Yes. And then we're all going to hop on Season 2. And then, at point, there's going to be a Mob Psycho Season 3. I'm excited about that. Yeah.
I'm excited too. But besides all that, guys, if you go to the Full Metal Weebs tier, you get shout-outs as well. And for these people right here, Chris Juhas, Lugum Bogum, David Salazar, Piper Clark, Hunter Chiles, RLZ, Rami Pond, Super Mono Man, Nico G, Margie Micah, and Spadeass.
Those are some pretty cool people right there. I'd say they're the top 12 viewers, if you ask me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they definitely are. But yeah, thank you guys over there in Patreon. Thank you guys on YouTube. By all means, please like, comment, and subscribe. So we'd like to see your comments. We'd like to see what you think about certain things. And whenever you think we're being done, that's also still fun. We're
Absolutely.
Vytal Festival. Let's see what we have to learn. I think there was a dark path to the Vytal Festival.
I don't even know what it is, to be honest. Is it
just
the tournament?
Tournament.
Okay.
It all began, as most things do, with war.
I was going to say with
Kingdoms of
Adam
the
and
world
Eve.
had been locked in a violent struggle for years. But eventually, the Great War of
Guns.
Remnant came to an end
That's
on the
fucking crazy.
small island of Vytal. It was here that humanity's leaders chose peace over bloodshed and constructed the future of modern society, establishing new laws.
That little ass island is...
And new traditions. The Vytal Festival was created to serve as a celebration of peace between the kingdoms. Every 2 years, a kingdom would be chosen to open its doors to the world, allowing citizens from every corner of Remnant to meet and indulge in one another's cultures. The pinnacle of this event was the Vytal Festival Tournament. After the newly formed Huntsman Academies proved to be a success, the Vytal Festival Tournament was designed to test the strengths of the kingdom's warriors in a safe and friendly competitive environment. A wonderful method in which to ensure that the world's huntsmen would never settle for mediocrity, but would constantly strive to become the absolute best they could be. As the skills of the huntsmen grew, so did the games. And in time, it was decided that the tournament would need a stage equal in greatness to that of its competitors. Amity Coliseum was the culmination of the 4 kingdoms' efforts, a technological marvel and a shining symbol of harmony, capable of making the journey to all the kingdoms of Remnant. It's true that all of this began with war, but it is peace that has served to shepherd humanity on its ascension to greatness.
I'm trying to see what these freaking, comments are trying to look like.
Like, we got Charizard.
Yeah.
May we never stray from that path.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Because we knew that the stages could, basically shuffle terrains.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was shuffling, the terrains from each kingdom. And so it's, trying to be balanced. Because even on the map, you can see this is, fucking volcano-looking desert or something like that. And you have, the ice shit up there.
Yeah.
Mountain area.
And like I guess where was Vale? I think Vale is the long left one. I want to say, just because of the fact that that's where the middle is, and I assume that's where they met up. Atlas seems to be the one on the top.
Yeah.
So that means that it's
would
Mistral here, and I guess Vacuo over there.
Yeah, I would say that because it sounds almost like volcano, and
yeah.
that one's red. So that's just my guess.
I mean, I know as much as you because I kind of I don't go deep to the let's see the geographic terrains of all these places. You know, I'm not that into RWBY, but
I mean it makes sense because I guess just because of like each character's involvement with where they're at, and then you look at the map and it's like, oh, okay, like Atlas is the ice one, and that's where isn't that where like Jacques is established?
Yeah.
Atlas? Okay.
Yeah. So you got him and Ironwood because Ironwood's over Atlas,
right.
which I think that's why the guy on the top have a gun. It's like I immediately thought of Ironwood because Ironwood had the gun against that one Grim. So yeah,
we really need more of that guy. Like the finale of season 3 with fucking like one-armed Ironwood was pretty badass. The Devil May Cry Ironwood.
Yeah, he was smooth. He was really smooth.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys, let's jump into Vale. Damn.
I'll give it a that
was really good.
Give it like a soft 97% that they show us on the map.
That's our place.
Vale.
That's a university.
Well, school's definitely
Oh.
out. Let's see if we can't all learn a little something. Welcome to the world of Remnant. Not the best place to live, but depending on where you're staying, it can get a little easier.
That's Australia at the bottom right.
They
just have one country from Earth.
Faunas have menagerie.
Menagerie?
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Spots are Vale, Mistral, Atlas.
Oh, that's
Vacuo.
Mistral.
The 4 kingdoms.
Vacuo. Then
of
what the fuck is the middle top?
Each one's special.
Didn't they say that was
in its own
Atlas?
little way.
No, so Atlas is this one. We're pausing. So Atlas is this one. This was Mistral.
Yeah.
Then we have Vale, which is our place. Then we got Vacuo.
Yeah. and
So
what's
this
that
one, yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and it's funny that they say, "Oh, menagerie over here, ignore it."
Let's talk about Vale. In the grand scheme of things, Vale's pretty well guarded. It rests on the northeastern end of the world's largest continent, Sanus. Like most successful kingdoms, Vale's survival over the years can mostly be attributed to prime real estate. Its front is protected by steep mountains, and its back is against waters too shallow for any real threat to pop out of. Not to say I haven't heard some crazy fish stories. Aside from the main city, which the kingdom's named after, the Vale territory also extends to several neighboring cities farther along the northwest coastline, as well as a small island named Patch.
Yeah, that's
Nice place to raise a family.
where RWBY and Yan were raised.
Okay.
Patch.
Of course, all attempts to extend the kingdom's reach past the mountains and farther into the mainland have been colossal failures.
That is
But,
that one
like
city
I
that
said,
got collapsed in the second
grand scheme of
volume.
things,
Okay.
Vale ain't half bad. Regular climate, natural barriers, and some serious border defenses means the citizens of Vale can spend less time worrying about survival and more time just living their lives. Of course, with the fall of Beacon, everyone's a little more worried these days. And they should be.
That was short and sweet. Let's go to Mistral. Booyakasha. I just picture the THX fucking.
This shit used to be so loud, even at like 2% volume.
Right. Where were we? The east of Sanus is Remnant's second largest landmass, Anima. That's where you'll find the kingdom of Mistral.
I'm really surprised that this
The
one is
4
Mistral.
kingdoms, Mistral has the most controlled territory.
It's so separate
meaning
from
you'll find a wider variety of ecosystems.
like there's a huge gap of water between them.
Trust me, this place is something for everyone, for better or worse. The high society folks of Mistral are known worldwide for their contributions to fashion, architecture, theater, all the things that make the world pretty and tolerable. But its lower class has got a fame of its own. Mistral's home to the biggest black market on the planet. Need something that's hard to find? Got someone that's hard to kill? They can help, provided you've got the lien to pay for it. There's one common thread that links all these people together, though, and that's their respect for nature, particularly the sea and the sky. The natural resources and geography of the area impacted Mistral's culture and technology in a big way. Its first settlers found shelter high up in the wind-carved cliffs, and as their population grew, so did their ability to utilize the land to its fullest potential. A real bunch of forward thinkers. Of course, the bigger the kingdom, the harder it is to govern. There's a reason traders and thieves flock to Mistral. The main city's right under the council's eye, sure, but places like Windpath and Kuchinashi start to get a little farther out of sight. There's plenty of places to hide in Mistral. That's why you gotta know where to look.
I like that Crow's doing these, basically like the know-it-all guy of every location, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it feels more like he's talking to the same group of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
I suppose it's time we talked about the fine people at the top of the world. Atlas is Remnant's youngest and arguably most successful kingdom, but it's a bit of a special case. See, before the Great War, there was no Atlas. There was Mantle. At some point in time, a group of settlers were crazy enough to venture out into the northernmost continent of Solitas. I guess when you're that desperate, a frozen hunk of rock doesn't seem like such a bad place to call home. As a matter of fact, the harsh weather conditions proved to be just as useful as the mountain ranges when it came to keeping the creatures of Grim at bay.
Well,
It also kept the people of Mantle from flourishing.
I guess our phrasing point's a lot
Humanity's got a neat trick up its
lower
sleeve, though.
or higher.
Whenever we're faced with a problem, our inclination is to find a solution. The cold climate of Solitas forced its settlers to adapt. They developed a more advanced technology, and they did it faster than the rest of the world, because they had to survive. But it was the Great War that really...
God damn, those are machine guns. Or Gatling guns, holy shit.
New forms of dust application and weaponry allowed Mantle to expand. More and more territory was set aside for dust mining and research. The territory beside the kingdom's combat school, Alcius, was the most opportune area to construct a new R&D facility. But by the time things were all said and done, it would be much, much more. Alcius was reopened as Atlas after the Great War to house many of the warriors now seeking guidance. In an effort to give back to the citizens, Mantle applied all sorts of new dust techniques and technologies it had used in the war to beef up the Academy's campus. The school grounds expanded faster than they could have imagined, and even helped to better secure the surrounding areas. It wasn't long before the kingdom's military moved in, then the labs and research facilities, and eventually even residential areas started popping up. In time, it became apparent that the city of Mantle was living in Atlas' shadow, and so the decision was made to move the kingdom's capital. Mantle was old news, and the kingdom of Atlas was born. The golden age of prosperity, they called it. But those left behind in Mantle would probably tell you that it was the coldest winter they ever knew.
I would assume so.
That's kind of crazy because it's like saying, "Oh, screw Fort Worth. It's Alliance Town Center now." And it's like, goddamn, I guess.
Sounds like vacuum.
Now, if there's one kingdom that's had it harder than the people of Mantle, it's Vacuo, the last of the 4 great kingdoms. The western end of Sanus is a barren and desolate wasteland. But long ago, before man went and ruined everything, it was a paradise. In the center of the vast desert was an oasis unlike anything you'd ever seen. A jungle bursting with natural resources, geographical defenses, and the world's largest recorded deposit of dust.
Wow.
Nomads that survived the journey across the scorching sands settled down in this little hidden gem, and over time the kingdom of Vacuo thrived. Unfortunately, comfort breeds weakness. While the rest of Remnant had to learn and adapt in order to survive, Vacuo's ancient society kicked back and lived a life of complacency. But when other, more developed kingdoms set their eyes on everything Vacuo had to offer, its citizens couldn't do anything to stop them from taking it.
That would be... Oh, I was like, that's Atlas. That's everyone.
Years of human conflict, unrestricted mining, and ecological disasters have changed Vacuo. The paradise that was once there is practically indistinguishable from the surrounding deserts. Citizens live in makeshift homes, uprooting and traveling frequently in response to the fleeting resources and occasional attacks from the creatures of Grim. After the Great War, a formal government was finally established. But by that point, the folks living in Vacuo didn't much care to uphold its laws, making Shade Academy the only real source of order in the kingdom. But order isn't everything. Vacuo may not be as prim and proper as the other 3 kingdoms, but it's still standing. And the people there have a mutual respect for one another. See, there's really only one unspoken rule in Vacuo. If you can survive here, then you're welcome here. So there you have it. Vale, Mistral, Atlas, and Vacuo. You know, Oz would always say that the 4 kingdoms were a representation of what mankind is capable of when working together. Ever the optimist. We sure could use him now.
All right, that's interesting.
So Vacuo was basically colonized by like more powerful governments. That's kind of crazy.
It kind of sucks, but at the same time, it now makes me wonder if it's gonna be the Aladdin look, like will it look kind of like Aladdin?
Kind of like Indian inspired architecture and whatnot.
Yeah.
I feel like every anime has at least something like that.
Because of the fact that it was already kind of in the desert. We have an oasis, and and then it kind of makes me think if Emerald is supposed to be Aladdin, does this mean that Emerald came from there?
That could be possible.
So that's interesting for me, and I mean that sounds terrible though. Like the fact that how bad they were treated. Like we can talk about the faunus as much as you want, but like these people also got the same treatment, and they were probably a mixture of both, not even just faunuses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean it's just straight up pretty much what England was doing like hundreds of years ago. Just like, oh, you're living here? No, you're not.
You made this? No, I made this.
But I like the lore a lot. I still really want to know what the freaking Charizard looking continent is. I have no idea.
Yeah, why would you leave an entire continent not explain?
It has to be explained at some point. Maybe it is like...
Because I seriously have no idea what it is. I honestly thought that was Mistral, because like the gap between Mistral and Vale of water is so insane. How the hell did Ruby, John, and all these people walk there? They must have then taken a ship at one point. I don't know. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I just don't understand it. I really don't. Like, it doesn't make any sense since they seem that they've been walking. It's like, at what point did you manage to get to a port that was willing to travel? Granted, you have the one that Blake used, but is that the only one available? Like,
I mean, yeah, and Weiss had to fly from Atlas to Mistral. So, I don't know. Could be just, I don't know. Oversight slightly. They didn't have time to animate it. I don't know.
I wonder if like they explain to it later, or is it just something that you just gotta deal with and like use your imagination type of thing. But yeah, no.
Wait, did they not? I could have sworn in the last episode now that they put Crow up in a ship and then they flew.
They flew, but they were already in Mistral.
That's right, yeah. Because it was right over the mountain.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Flew right over the mountain. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, that's the thing is because that's exactly my thought. Okay, it probably was the ship, but I'm like no, like the argument was that these two people were gonna go over the mountain to cut through, and then the other ones were gonna keep going around it. And it's like yeah, that could have been terrible. But no, yeah. So it threw me off. I do find it interesting because it also Sun is from Vacuo. So it kind of explains his laid back attitude. And you know how it's like, oh, you know, that's why he's kind of a skilled fighter, although that it hasn't been completely shown, and he's been shown to mess things up recently. Low-key bothers me because I guess it's all about the brawn, not the brain, so that's why he keeps messing up.
Yeah, it seems like Vacuo is like where the street kids come from, if I could put it in a way.
Yeah, and I mean, and granted, street smart is not bad. Honestly, you need some street smart to get around places, so. Honestly, like I would expect to see more people from there thrive in the more tamed areas like Vale and whatnot, you know, because you can take advantage of that.
For what it seems like, and this is just like me collecting info from this, it's like I would say Vacuo, like India is a pretty good like representation of what Vacuo is, and then like Vale seems just like America, like white bread. You know, kind of. Atlas is like the UK.
The UK, I can see that.
And then
Mistral is like the Oriental,
yeah, like Asia.
And then Menagerie is just Aussie.
It literally is Australia because in Australia you have a bunch of creatures that can kill you. Just a bunch of random ass like kangaroos and snakes.
And like grand majority is just desert that you cannot use. So yeah. That's funny. But yeah, hey, we got it. We got it down, guys.
We do. We just need to figure out what that last continent is, and then we're good to go.
That's probably Canada.
It's a syrup nation or something like that.
I don't know.
It's just trees, and we stick these metal contraptions in there to suck up the syrup. It's like liquid dust.
Alrighty, guys. It was interesting. I liked it. I cannot wait to actually show you more because right now we've only seen we just got to Mistral, so we've barely seen a second continent. So it's a matter of just getting into it and see what he has to offer.
No idea what Vacuo looks like, so there's that.
Same here. Honestly, I haven't seen Vacuo yet, so that's
so
once they show it, it's gonna be fucking cool.
Awesome.
Alrighty, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
I don't know what this was, but yes. Hope you guys enjoyed another Weebs Closet reaction. A special thanks to our Patreons. We appreciate your extra support to keep this channel going. Be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to stay up to date with our latest videos. See you in the next one.